Trump Tower's been taken over. A 100 protesters arrested this morning after breaking into Trump Tower, chanting, "Free Mahmoud." Who's Mahmoud? He's a Syrian agitator who loves Hamas and hates Jews and who made so much mayhem at Columbia last year he cost the school millions of dollars. Trump's trying to deport him. And Democrats are siding with the anti-Semitic foreigner who broke the law. Democrats want to deport Elon but keep Mahmoud. They're standing for Mahmoud but not for a black kid with brain cancer who wants to be a cop. They used to stand for electric cars, but then Elon caught them censoring conservatives and stealing from the government, so they're attacking Teslas with pickaxes.
Armed with a pickaxe and sledgehammer in Seattle's Soto neighborhood, these two fellas went to town on this Tesla. The car was left in shambles with shattered windows, massive punctures, and tons of anti-Elon Musk graffiti.
We don't like what Elon Musk is doing.
This man would only give me his first name.
Greg, sorry.
But says he actually owns the white Model S.
I bought it just to destroy it.
A man sledgehammered his own Tesla to get back at Elon after he paid for it. If there's one thing liberals are good at, it's destruction. They can't build a reservoir, a high-speed rail, or a charging station, but they can tear down a statue, a border, and a Tesla. It's one thing for the kid in the back of the car to keep saying, "Daddy, are we there yet? Are we there yet?" But it's another for the kid to slash his own tires. Remember the Heinz commercial?
I'm passing the Heinz? Sure.
When you've got something this rich, this thick, why waste time with anything else? Heinz ketchup. The best things come to those who wait.
We don't even have to wait that long for the good things. Trump cut off the ability of Russia to sell oil to Europe and said if Putin doesn't agree to a ceasefire, Russia's going to suffer devastating consequences. And this morning, Putin says he's going to agree to a 30-day ceasefire. Isn't that what liberals have been wearing the Ukraine flag pins for? To stop the Russian invasion? But since Trump's brokering the peace, Democrats are anti-peace. And no one gave him any credit. Peacenik Liz Warren's clapping her hands like this to keep funding a war that never ends. Now, if Trump wins the Nobel Peace Prize, are Democrats going to even be able to say congrats? Gas prices just hit 3-year lows. Mortgage rates are falling. Inflation's cooling. And border crossings, they basically stopped. These are all things Democrats argued a president had no control over. Then how'd all these things happen when we got a new president? Democrats were for Doge for decades. But now that Trump's the one doing the doging, they're standing up for waste, fraud, and abuse.
Until today, USDA was funding a $397,000 grant in the San Francisco Bay Area to educate queer, trans, and BIPOC urban farmers and consumers about food justice.
So if you're a straight urban farmer, you don't get money. Only a queer urban farmer gets money. $400,000 for a pack of seeds, some gardening gloves, and a watering can. You know how much mulch you can buy for $400,000? They're stealing the money. If we can doge queer urban garden grants, we could probably balance the budget.
When the president balances the budget, his first move is going to be, he has suggested that he would like to waive taxes for people under $150,000. That's aspirational, that when we balance the budget. And let me tell you, he's got a plan to balance this budget.
Trump wants to doge taxes for the working class, and Democrats are breaking into Trump Tower, screaming to free a radical Muslim. Imagine how great this country would be if we could all work together and Democrats didn't just oppose to oppose. CNBC's mad about the market and blames Trump's tariffs. But there's a method to the madness.
Yesterday, General Motors was in. They want to invest $60 billion. The people from Facebook were in yesterday. They're going to invest $60 billion by the end of the year. Apple, as you know, a few days ago announced $500 billion investment. They're going to build their plants in the United States, which, as you know, almost all of their plants are in China. Now they're building in the United States.
This trade war, which is in its second week, is already bringing in money, jobs, and manufacturing. Politicians lost 100,000 manufacturing plants over 40 years and 5 million jobs. It could take longer than 2 weeks to fix it. The S&P's off 10% now, and the media acts like it's Black Friday. The S&P had a stretch where it fell off 10% just last year, and another 10% dip the year before. It happens. It's going to take a minute to bring manufacturing back. It's the only thing both parties agree on. The media never panics when we lost the muscle of American industry. As long as equities were up, the media was happy. Who cares about American jobs and wages? They threw parties for globalization. All the brilliant minds said the earth was flat and it was the end of history. Not so fast.
We've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all. Aluminum or steel or cars. We're not going to bend. We've been ripped off as a country for many, many years. We've been subjected to costs that we shouldn't be subjected to.
Today, we started a booze war. The Europeans didn't like our steel tariff, so they put a 50% tariff on whiskey. 47 doesn't drink, so we just put a 200% tariff on all European wines and champagne, which will probably break the French, and they'll surrender like usual. Looks like for now, Jesse Watters won't be buying any more Bordeaux, so if anybody knows any great California cabs, let me know. Trump's fighting the trade war that Democrats promised to fight for decades, but never did.
I know you don't like Trump's style.
No.
You haven't liked it for 12 years.
I spent, an hour on my way up here looking at all these old articles coming out of liberal outlets over the past 10, 15, 20 years, talking about the disaster free trade has had on middle-class America, how it's destroyed manufacturing in this country, how once upon a time the Rust Belt was thriving, now it's in decay. You can't blame that on Donald Trump for wanting to focus and put a microscope and saying, wait a minute here, we have left a significant percent of our fellow Americans behind. Let's fix that.
They all yell at him. The whole world treats America like a duty-free shop, but they won't even let a single American company through their door. What's the Democrat strategy to get other countries to lower their tariffs? What's the Democrat strategy to bring manufacturing jobs home? The only Democrat strategy is to print and spend and tax until we go bankrupt. It's not like the markets aren't going to go back up. Trump's first term market performance was better than Biden's. Trump ran on trade. Voters elected him. And now he just got started.
Rome wasn't built in a day, of course. This is not going to happen overnight. I think it's going to take time, right? Some of the stuff, you're already seeing factories that are adding shifts for American workers. That happens immediately. Some factories, it takes 18 months or 2 years to build a new facility. So it really depends industry by industry. But the basic thrust of President Trump's economic policies is if you invest in the United States of America, you're going to be rewarded with lower taxes, lower regulations, lower energy costs. If you want to build a factory in China, that's your right, but you're going to pay.
Trump's done everything else so quickly, we just expect a lot and really fast. That's all. But it took 40 years to lose these jobs. Trump's not going to get them back overnight. He won trade wars against China, Canada, Mexico, South Korea in his first term, and we had no inflation, high wages, and a healthy stock market. Biden broke the bank, the border, took years to reopen schools and the economy, let companies move offshore, and never even called Putin once to end the war. It's going to take a second to flush Bidenomics out of the system. Trump's not creating a recession. He's preventing a Great Depression.
We were always going to have a transition from this incredible, unsustainable level of government spending that we had. I think last week I called it a detox. The easy thing for us to have done would have been to come in and just keep this massive spending level going. And it's unsustainable, but could we have kept it going for a year, 2 years, maybe even 4? Maybe, but you're risking a financial calamity.
The media sees this trade war as undisciplined and haphazard because they don't listen to what the White House says, but I do. Tax regulation and spending cuts, a secure border, and fair trade will create an economic boom that's going to grow jobs, wages, and profits and make your portfolio as fat as Pelosi's. America's expanding. You can call this market growing pains. We're also expanding geographically.
Canada only works as a state. We don't need anything they have. As a state, it would be one of the great states anyway. This would be the most incredible country visually. If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it. between Canada and the U.S., just a straight artificial line. Somebody did it a long time ago, many, many decades ago, and makes no sense. It's so perfect as a great and cherished state. Keeping "O Canada," the national anthem. I love it. I think it's great. Keep it. But it'll be for the state, one of our greatest states. Maybe our greatest.
Trump's White House is even asking the Pentagon to develop military options for the Panama Canal. The Panamanian military can either work with us or work for us, if you know what I mean. And Greenland's basically inevitable.
Greenland. What is your vision for the potential annexation of Greenland and getting them potentially to
Well, I think it'll happen, and I'm just thinking, I didn't give it much thought before, but I'm sitting with a man that could be very instrumental. You know, Mark, we need that for international security.
Look at this map right here. Doesn't that make sense? See Greenland, see Russia, see Alaska and Canada. This great game is going to move from the Mideast to the Arctic, and Trump knows precious real estate when he sees it. Bernie Sanders says it's the scariest time he's ever seen since he's been alive, but it's shaping up to be the most exciting.
America's going to become more lethal, more economically strong, and we're participating in that, and we're thrilled. The part I love is that we're winning. The part I love almost more is that we're getting to do our usual humiliate the critics of Palantir games, and it makes my life a lot of fun. America is the greatest experiment, the greatest country that has existed, and we must support it.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.